For this video, we'll be using a slip stitch, single crochet, an increase, a decrease, the magic circle or ring, and we'll also be using polyfill. Watch our shorts to learn how to make these stitches. We're going to make a magic circle. We're going to hold our tail with our thumb. With the working yarn, we're going to wrap it around. With the hook, we're going to grab the bottom strand, twist it around, then bring the strand on the ring finger through the loop. And that's our magic circle. I'm going to pull the yarn in to make the circle smaller. Then I'm going to place my middle and ring finger into the circle and use my index finger to adjust the loop on the hook. Place the hook into the circle and bring the working yarn through the circle, and then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to make a single crochet. Continue making the single crochets until there are 6. Once we made our 6 crochet, we're ready to count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to do the magic. We're going to pull the tail in while holding the crochets, and then we're going to make that circle by pulling the tail, just like magic. Now we're ready to move on to the next row. For row number 2, we're going to do 6 increases. We're going to place our hook inside the first stitch on our magic circle, then yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that's our single crochet. We're going to put a stitch marker into that first single crochet. Again, we're going to make a single crochet into that first stitch, and that finishes our increase. And then we're going to continue to do these increases around the magic circle until we have 12 single crochets. We're on our final increase. There's our first crochet and then our second crochet in that last stitch to finish the increase. We're going to count our crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For row number 3, we'll be doing a sequence of a single crochet and an increase, and we'll be doing it 6 times. We're going to start by making a single crochet in our first stitch, and we're going to get our lovely stitch marker and place it into that first single crochet. Then we're going to make an increase. We're going to put a single crochet in the next stitch, and then another single crochet in that same stitch for the increase. Then we're just going to start the same sequence over again until we have 18 crochets. And we're going to repeat the same sequence. And now we're on our final increase. We're going to make a single crochet and another single crochet in that same stitch to make the increase. Let's count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And now we're done with row number 3. For row number 4, we're going to do 18 single crochets all the way around. We're going to do our first single crochet, then place our stitch marker, of course, on that single crochet. And then we're just going to continue to making these single crochets until we reach the end with 18. And now we're completing our last crochet to make that 18 single crochets. And now we're finished with row number 4, and we're ready to move on to row number 5. For row number 5, we're going to do the sequence of 4 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to do this 3 times. We're going to start with the single crochet, and we're going to put our stitch marker on it, of course. Then we have 2, 3, and 4 single crochets. We have this knot here, just make sure that it stays in the inside. And then we're going to do a decrease. And then we're going to start that sequence all over again with the 4 single crochets. With the final decrease, we're finished with the row, and now we're going to count our crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. For rows 6, 7, 8, and 9, we're going to do 15 single crochets. We're going to start with the color change first. We're going to change to pink. We have our pink yarn, but before we attach it, we're going to go into this first stitch and make a loop. So we have 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to loop our yarn around our hook and then put it through the 2 loops. Now we're going to continue with making single crochets. Into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops, just like a regular single crochet. And then we're going to put our stitch marker on that single crochet. Before we go any further, we're just going to clean this up a little. We're going to tighten up our pink yarn, and then with our white tails, we're just going to tuck in the tail, and then we're going to cut the white working yarn because we won't be continuing with the white yarn for the arm. Okay, now that's all cleaned up, we're ready for crochet number 2. And then we're just going to keep going until we reach crochet number 15 for row number 6. And with really quick fingers, we're finished with row number 6. And now we're ready to move on to row number 7, 8, and 9, all with 15 single crochets. We're going to leave our stitch markers in for every row. We're going to start row number 7 with a light pink stitch marker on our first single crochet. We're going to move super fast on rows 7, 8, and 9. And being super fast, we're already at the end of row number 9. We can remove our stitch markers for row number 6, 7, 8, and this is row number 9. And now we're going to start on row number 10. For row number 10, we're going to do 2 single crochets, a decrease, a sequence of 3 single crochets, and a decrease 2 times, and then a single crochet. We're going to start with a single crochet, and of course we're going to add our stitch marker to it. Then we're going to move on to our second single crochet. Then we're going to do a decrease, and then we're going to start the sequence of 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3 single crochets, and then a decrease, and we're going to repeat the same sequence. And now we're on our final decrease, and then we're going to end the row with a single crochet. And now we're done with row number 10. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For row number 11, we're going to do 12 single crochets all the way around. We're going to start with our first single crochet, and we're going to put a stitch marker on it, and then we're just going to continue making single crochets until the end. And now we're done with our final single crochet, and we should have 12 of them, and we're ready to move on to the next row. For row number 12, we'll be doing a single crochet, a decrease, a sequence of 2 single crochets, and a decrease 2 times, and end with a single crochet. We're going to start by making a single crochet, and of course we're going to mark it with our stitch marker. Then we're going to do a decrease, and then we're going to move on to the sequence of 2 single crochets. There's 1 and 2 single crochets, and then to a decrease. And then we're going to repeat the same sequence. Now we're going to complete the final decrease of the sequence, and we're going to end the row with a single crochet. And now we're done with row number 12. We should have 9 crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're going to speed stuff our arm. We're just going to put enough stuffing in there so that we can still close it, but it's pretty firm. Once we have it stuffed, we're going to start with crocheting the top. We'll be doing a sequence of a single crochet and a decrease, and we'll be doing it 3 times. We're starting with our single crochet, and we're going to mark it with our stitch marker. Then we're moving on to doing a decrease, and then we're going to start that sequence all over again, starting from the decrease and then going to the single crochet, and we're going to do it till the end. We're on the final decrease, and this completes the sleeve, and now we're just going to pull the yarn up. Now we're going to count the crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're ready to finish off our sleeve. We're going to cut our yarn about 12 inches and then pull the yarn out, and now we're done with the sleeve. And remember to make 2. Now we're going to make the ruffle on the bottom of our sleeve. We're going to start where the color changes. We're going to get our hook, put it through the stitch, then take our yarn, put it over the hook, pull it through the stitch, and we're going to make a slip stitch. Now we're going to make our first crochet in the next stitch. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, and then pull through the 2 loops for our single crochet. Then we're going to make another single crochet until we have 16 of them around the sleeve. And once we get to our 16th crochet, we're going to count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. For row number 2, we're going to begin with putting a single crochet in the first slip stitch that we made. We're going to place our hook inside that stitch, then yarn over, pull the yarn through, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. And that's our first single crochet for row number 2. And we're going to place a stitch marker in there. Then we're going to do another 2 single crochets. There's 1 and 2, and then we're going to do an increase. There's 1 crochet and then 2 crochets in the same stitch. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3 single crochets. Then we're going to do an increase. There's 1 and 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then we're going to do 4 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets. And we're going to do an increase. There's 1 and 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then we're going to end with 3 single crochets. There's 1, there's that knot, there's 2 single crochets, and we're going to place that knot so it's not visible, and then our 3rd single crochet. And now we're done with the ruffle of our sleeve. We're going to pull out the yarn and then cut the end, and then we're going to pull the yarn all the way through, and then we're going to make sure that that knot isn't showing, by putting it through the back side. Okay, and then we're going to take the two ends and we're going to tie them together and make a little knot so that it doesn't unravel. And then we're going to cut the tail so that it's really short. And then we're just going to tuck the tails into the arm. There's one, and then there's the second tail that we're just going to tuck in. And now we're done with the ruffle of our sleeve. And don't forget to make two.